Hello.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing all right.
So first, I just want to say that my name is Alicia, and that this is a safe space. Um, I'm not here to judge you. I'm just here to support you. I'm going to ask you a whole bunch of questions, and you can say yes or no. If you want to elaborate on anything, feel free to go into detail. If you feel like you don't want to talk about it, that's fine. You don't know me, so you don't have to talk about it if you don't want to. Just let me know. Don't want to talk about it. And we're going to get started.
Let's do it.
So, who referred you here?
The DCBS.
Okay.
They feel like that I'm trying to get my granddaughter back, and to be able to do that, they said that I need to complete a treatment program and show that I am sober and willing to remain that way.
Okay. So, how did you get involved with DCBS?
I was framed for a murder that I did not commit, and ended up charges were dropped. But in that time, my granddaughter was removed from home. She was placed in foster care.
Okay. And how old is the granddaughter?
Lena is 7 years old.
Okay. Are you having any thoughts of hurting yourself or someone else?
No.
Have you ever had thoughts from when you were a child or any time in your life? Have you ever had suicidal thoughts?
I mean, yes, I have. I feel like maybe probably every person does at some point in their life if they've had, bad things happen or whatever. Yeah.
Okay.
I've never had a plan or never had any type of, actual thing that I did to harm myself, but I've felt hopeless before for sure.
Any previous attempts?
No, I did not.
Okay. When was the last time that you had thoughts?
Well, it's been a long time ago. It was
like years, months?
Years ago.
Okay. I think like 2 years, 5 years, 10 years.
More than 10 years.
Okay. And when you did have the thoughts 10 years ago, was it when you were using or was it during some specific time?
Yes, I was using alcohol and pain pills. And I think that definitely attributed to the hopelessness of my feelings at the time, and just situations that were occurring at the time. Just everything combined was not a good mixture, and I felt those feelings.
Okay. What kind of support do you have now? Do you have any social support or church support?
I have the support of my DCBS worker. She wants me, of course, to succeed. She wants the family to be reunified, but she's just willing to support me, but she's not willing to enable me. So she said I had to, show that I wanted this to really happen and actually do the work. I have the support of my sons and grandson. We're a very tight knit family, and I feel like hopefully if I can do this, then I can also show them that they have the ability to. Some of my sons struggle with substance abuse, and so I feel like if it starts at the top and just they see me do something different, then hopefully they will try to do something different as well.
Okay. So, also want to make sure that you received the informed consent before coming in here and you signed that.
Yeah, they sent me all of that paperwork, and I had to sit up there and do all of that.
Policies.
They went through all of that with me. Yeah, I signed all those. It took some time, but yes.
Okay. And so just to make sure that you understand that everything said in here stays in here. The only time I have to report something is if you are going to hurt yourself or someone else.
Okay.
Other than that, everything remains confidential.
Will you be able to give updates to my DCBS worker on how things are going and things like that? Or
If you sign a release of information, yes.
yes, I did.
Yep. Okay. How old are you?
I am 67.
Okay. And are you married?
No.
Okay.
On purpose.
I hear you. Any religious beliefs?
I believe, I'm not 100% sure what I believe in, but I know there's something out there that's greater than me. I love to believe that it had an affinity for me, but I'm just not so sure in this life, you know?
Okay. So let's talk about the DCBS. How long have you been involved with DCBS?
It has been, well, since they removed her, it's been about a year. But since I was, released from prison and the charges were dropped, that's been about 2 months that we've been working together on a reunification plan and getting things rolling to where I can actually have a chance to do that. So altogether, I'd say about a little over a year.
Okay. When did DCBS make the referral for you to come here? Was it 2 months ago?
Yes. Well, no, it was a month ago. We started talking and meeting and doing, like, she would come to the home, check on me, and that's when she realized that I had a problem and that it needed to be addressed. So
okay. Any hospitalization, psychiatric history for you?
I've been hospitalized recently for cancer.
Okay.
I have a terminal melanoma cancer. It's not anything that's going to take me soon, but it will eventually get me.
But not any mental health or psychiatric reasons?
Not hospitalized for that, no.
Okay. Have you ever been diagnosed with anything?
Not diagnosed, but I am self-diagnosed.
Okay.
With, I know that I have PTSD, and I'm sure there would be no problem in getting that diagnosis from a doctor or a therapist or whoever does that type of thing.
Okay. Any trauma history?
Where do we start?
From the first time you can remember.
Well, my childhood was not what you call perfect. I was the only child of my mother. I don't know who my father was. I'm sure he was just some bad choice she made along the way that might not even know about me. I know nothing of him. And my mother and I were never really what you would call stable or, not stable in any way. We lived in a car, different cars here and there. We never really had a home to speak of other than what we made of the situation we were in. Sometimes we bounced from, friends' houses, but for the majority of my childhood, we lived in a car.
Okay. Any sexual abuse?
There was many men in and out of my mother's life, and of course, some of them were interested in me and the kind of life she led. So, kind of went along with the territory. We did what we had to do to survive, and I felt like I had to know my role and play my part in things too, because it was just me and her against the world.
All right. Any physical abuse?
Like, what do you mean?
Anybody put their hands on you or hitting?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, that happened quite often in most of my relationships. That's why I never chose to marry because I didn't make good choices in men, and so therefore I went through a lot of things that, women who make good choices don't seem to go through. And just growing up in the environment that I did, I feel like I don't really know much other than that type of life. Um, but I did try to steer away from that. And whenever I started, I had children of my own, and my boys, I have 3 boys, and as they've grown up, I've tried to create a home that's, where we all can reside and they can always come home to, and it may not be functional to some, but it works for us.
Okay. Any history of mental illness in your family? So, mother, father, grandma, grandpa, aunts, uncles, cousins, siblings.
Well, I don't really know much about I don't know anything about my father, whoever he is, and his side of the family, of course. And my mother, um, she was gone from her family at an early age, so I don't, and she never talked about it much. I never knew any aunts or uncles. I don't know if they exist or if we just didn't talk about them.
Okay.
So, but I do know that my mother she suffered from addiction. So, and very much instability in her mind and her processes and things that she, obviously we could never settle down. We could never, she bounced from man to man to man looking for something.
Okay. Any current or past medical conditions, treatments, allergies?
No allergies. Like I said, I do have cancer. But other than that, I've been very blessed to say that I've been healthy.
Okay. Are you doing chemo?
They want me to.
Okay.
I don't see the point. I'd rather have the last years of my life just with I'm a little vain. I like my looks, and I don't want to lose my hair.
Okay.
I don't want to be sick all the time. So we're just going to give it our best shot.
Okay. Do you have a primary care provider?
Yes.
Have you ever been tested for HIV or Hep C?
Yes.
Positive or negative?
Positive or negative for both of those.
Okay. Any current medications?
Well, I do take some cancer meds, but there is and I take, I've been taking oxycodone for pain, and I've been taking that, but I am prescribed it now, but it hasn't always been the case.
Okay. Do you know the other names of the medications you're prescribed?
They're big long words that I don't understand.
Okay. Can you bring them back in here?
Yes.
Okay. That way we can update your chart.
Absolutely.
Okay. So, history of substance use. So, going back from the first time that you used, what you used, how much you used, and how often. So, let's start with marijuana.
That's been around my whole life, ever since I was, I'd say 9, 10 years old. Whenever I would observe my mother and her friends smoking pot, I saw that it relaxed them, that they were more at ease. Things just seemed to be funny, and everybody, the mood was really light. So that, that was appealing to me. Okay. So, and I didn't really have a lot of friends since we lived in we bounced around so much. There wasn't really much of a schooling or neighborhood friends for me. So I would hang out with my mom and her friends, and therefore it was very, I was almost like, they didn't look at me as a little kid. They looked at me as one of them. So they shared what they had with me. So yeah, I was very young whenever I started partaking in doing that.
Okay. When was your last date of use?
Today.
And how much do you usually use? And do you use every day?
Yeah, every day. I typically tend to smoke in the morning and in the evening before.
Would you say a gram, 2 grams, 3 grams?
I'd say no more than 2 grams a day.
Okay. And have you ever used methamphetamine?
No.
Have you ever used cocaine?
Yes.
Yeah, when was the first time you used cocaine?
I'd say anywhere from 15 to 16, somewhere in there. Like I said, it was just another one of those. I was a part of the grown-up party, and they were doing it, asked me if I wanted to do it, and I was too scared to not fit in, so.
Okay. When was your last date of use?
Oh, I'd say 15 years ago. It's not really something that I did often. It was just more of a happenstance kind of thing. I didn't go looking for it.
Okay. And alcohol?
I do drink quite frequently.
When did you first drink?
Oh, I'd say probably around the time the cocaine came in, 15, 16.
And when did you last drink?
Last night.
And do you drink every day? How much do you drink?
Mostly every day. I'll have maybe sometimes I'll have a mimosa with breakfast. Sometimes, or most nights, I'll have a drink after I've stopped doing whatever I'm doing for the day and getting ready.
2 drinks a day?
Yeah, minimum. I mean, there's days that are more, days that are less,
Well, on the days that there are more, what does that look like?
I'd say no more than 3 to 4.
Okay. And opiates?
Yes.
First date of use?
I found opiates pretty quickly after marijuana. Same scenario, and I don't really know exactly what it was. It was just different color little pills that made people feel good and sometimes sleep, sometimes, not be able to sleep. It just depended on, and I don't, like I said, I'm growing older and learning more about it. I've realized that, I do prefer a Xanax to calm my nerves.
Okay, so hold on just a second. For the opiates, the first date of use was?
I'd say probably 10, 11 years old.
And you say, is that something you use daily now?
As far as the pain pills, yes. Like oxycodone.
Your prescription medication?
Yes.
Okay. But other than your prescription, you're not using opiates?
No.
Okay. And then you said that you prefer a Xanax. When was the first time you took a benzo?
Same time period, I'm assuming. I'm not sure exactly like I said, but I know that when I figured out what they were was probably early teens, probably 14, 15, somewhere around there. And
last day of use?
Probably 6 months.
Okay.
After I got my diagnosis and started having to go, they've been kind of weaning me off of the things that I can't take and the things that I have to take.
Were you using those daily?
Yeah.
Okay. And do you know how many pills a day?
No more than the one, like the big, they call them footballs. I guess I'm not sure the milligram because they weren't necessarily mine, but I would get them from my son would have some or whatever, and then I would but yeah, that would usually be plenty. And sometimes I wouldn't even take that. I would split it up.
So how many a day?
One.
One a day.
But apparently they have different sizes and different milligrams. So it was a big one.
So tell me a little bit about your family. I know you say you have 3 children, and do you live with them? Do they live with you?
They they live with me. They all have rooms in my house. A couple of my boys have their own apartments outside or a house outside of the house, but they all come back all the time. They stay there a lot of the nights during the week, depending if they're drinking or whatever's going on. But yes, I have a home that is theirs when they want it.
How old are they?
38, 36, and 30.
And they live with you?
Like I said, they
stay with you?
Yes.
Any social support or significant relationships that you have? Like if you were going through something, who would you call?
I would call my sons first, my oldest son, and then usually when I call one, they're all in the loop and they come. I've got a best friend that is an attorney that I talk to her about most things. She knows everything about me.
Okay. Anybody else?
As far as knowing everything, that what I call about every situation now.
And I know you said before that you believe in something bigger than yourself. Do you attend church or attend any kind of religious?
Not opposed to it, especially now that I've got this health stuff going on. Kind of makes you step back and really think about things and what's next after we are no longer here. So I'm definitely open to whatever is out there, and hopefully I can find some type of peace with what's going on.
Okay. Any developmental delays when you were a kid? Do you feel like you walked on time, had potty trained at a
I feel like I did everything at an accelerated age.
Okay. And what is your highest level of education?
About 10th grade.
Do you have a high school diploma or GED?
No. I learned to survive the way I learned to survive.
What about work?
My sons and I have, we do all types of odd ends. We do a lot of work in the community for, we help people move. We do construction. We do, which I'll find the jobs and they usually carry out the work. That type of work, just different odds and
So
ends.
only ever worked for yourself?
Yes.
Okay, got it. What about legal history? Any arrests, sentences? Have you been convicted for anything? DUIs? Any family court? I know you said that you were arrested for murder.
I was arrested for a murder charge. I was framed.
When was that?
This past year.
Did you say last summer?
Let's see, we're in summer now, so yeah, it was like this last spring.
Like April, May. Do you remember when?
It was early April, and I was released 8 months later. Well, almost 9 months later, and the charges were dropped. Before that, I've been arrested just for petty things.
When you say petty, do you mean misdemeanor?
Yes, or misdemeanors or like public intoxication, things like that. Just nothing ever more than that.
Okay. And do you all have family court with DCBS?
Yes.
You said you're on a case plan?
Yes. She wants me, like I said, before we go any further in trying the reunification, she wants me to, complete treatment.
So this is the part where you tell me what are your strengths, needs, abilities, and preferences. So what is it that you feel like are some of your strengths?
Well, I feel like I am highly motivated. I'm a self-starter. I've always been able to find a way to make a living for myself and my children. Very focused when I'm on a job, detail-oriented.
Okay.
I don't know. I think that, I'm smart. I'm very street smart, very life smart, wisdom.
Okay. What about needs?
My needs? Well, I need help getting sober. I need a good reference from you all to the DCBS worker. I need therapy. I need to learn how to plan for the next steps and find, what we're gonna help my boys get set up to where they can then take over the care for Lena. I'd like to set up, talk to, I'd like to have everything in place, everything set up and in place for when the time comes that I'm no longer.
Okay. What about abilities?
I feel like I'm able to do anything I put my mind to. It's just I've never been in this, situation where one of my family members wasn't with me. So I am just very determined to fix the situation, get my granddaughter back home with us, and I'm able to do whatever. I feel like I am willing to do whatever it takes to make that happen.
What about preference? So you will get a therapist. Do you have a preference in whether it's male or female?
I don't want a male.
Okay.
I just feel like I would relate much more to a female, and as one strong female to another, I feel like that would be the only connection that I would feel trusting with.
Okay. Do you think there's any information that I did not ask you that you would like me to know?
Well, I mean, like, what else would you need? Like, do you need to know more, like, in my children's situation?
No, I think I have pretty much everything I need. I was just wanting to ask if there's anything that you maybe felt like I didn't ask.
Well, I didn't bring up the trauma of, I had a daughter that died of a drug overdose.
Okay.
So that, and I now care for my grandson, which was her son. She was the twin to, I had twins at one point, so she died, and we had a falling out years ago, so we weren't really close, but of course it was my child, and so that's I need some help dealing with that, and
is he an adult, her child?
No, he's 17.
Okay. And does he also stay with you guys?
Yes.
Okay.
Ever since his mom died, he's came to live with us.
Okay. So what is it that you want to get out of this? Do you want to do individual therapy? Do you want to jump into programming for DCBS?
I want to do everything that's going to help me accomplish my goal.
Okay.
So that's, how long is this program here?
It is a 6 to 8 month program. I am going to recommend that you do the program. And
what makes it from 6 to 8?
So you will meet with Nikki, and she'll go over the guidelines and explain everything to you.
Okay.
So like the first part of the program, you come 5 days a week. You're here from 9 to 2. The second month, you're here 3 days a week, 9 to 12. And then the other 4 to 6 months, you're here 1 day a week, 2 hours.
Okay. And I don't have to live here, live in your, okay, that's good. I don't want to do that.
Sound like something you want to do?
Yeah, I'll do whatever. Like, my like she said, the worker, she recommended that I complete this program.
Okay. And
I guess that means programming, I'm assuming, and
okay.
And so I might as well take advantage of therapy, and then we have case management here too that can help me with all the things that I need help with.
Yeah, we have case management and peer support, and they'll be working alongside you.
Okay. Yeah, that's good.
Okay, so gonna have you come in tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock to meet with Nikki, and then you'll start your first group at 9. And I just want to say thank you for coming in.
Well, I have some more questions.
Okay.
What about insurance? Like, I know that I don't have.
Oh yeah, your insurance will cover it.
It'll cover
You
it.
won't have to be pay out of pocket for anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay.
All right.
Anything else?
That's it.
All right. Thank you so much.
Have a good day. You too.